excuses. Have you ever heard the phrase, it doesn't matter what you know, it matters who you know? Would you agree with that? In our world, that matters. But I would disagree with that a little bit. I would add a little bit more to that saying. It matters who you know and what they will do for you. Because I bet you know a lot of people that won't do anything for you. Would you agree? I'm sorry, what's your name?
Nate.
Nate. Have you ever went to somebody and really needed something and asked them, and they're like, oh, well, I can't do that.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Have you?
Go for it.
What's your name?
Andre?
Andre. So you know people that won't do something for you, right? So it doesn't matter what you know, and it doesn't matter who you know. It matters who you know and what they'll do for you. Right? Do you agree? It matters what they'll do for you. And so, to get people to do something for you, what do you have to do?
Do something for them.
Do something for them.
Or
What else?
we'll just help them, just make their situation easier to do something for you.
Sure. You help them to do something for me. What else?
Make them feel like you're someone that they can count on as well. So it's like a mutual understanding.
Sure.
They do something for you and you do something back to them.
Perfect. Great. What else?
Make them aware that this is worth it in the long run, that you can actually vouch for their efforts.
Sure. Perfect. You want people to trust you.
Yeah, I was just going to say, be their friend, show them who you are without trying to get something.
Right. If people think you're trying, if you think I'm trying to take something from you, you don't throw me to the side, but you're a little, you don't come too close, right? But if you trust me, and you don't feel like I'm trying to take anything from you, you're like, hey, what do you need? Did you like that? Hey, what do you need? You do. You're very open when you think there's no quote, or there's no there's space in between you, right? And so something that I've done is I've developed what I call my ABC networking method. I started this when I was at Brigham Young University in Hawaii, and I would meet a lot of people from all over the world. There's 70-something nations represented. This class is similar to BYU Hawaii, because there's like 70-something nations represented in 2,500 students. I mean, it's amazingly diverse. And so I made myself little name cards as a student. P.J. Rogers, student. The back of it, Kim Minam, no. And so I made these name cards, and I would give a name card. When you can give a name card, you often what? Get one. And when you get a name card, normally what do you do with it? And remember, this was back in the early 90s when smartphones weren't around, right? This is before internet, or not before internet, before emailing. Before, emailing across the world. Intranet was, and the emailing in the companies was there. But what do you do with a name card? Anyone?
Rolodex.
Rolodex, right? You often put it in a Rolodex, tape it there, or you put it in your Ben Franklin planner or something. You put it somewhere, right? And then often, that was it. That was it. Well, what I did with my ABC networking is I would get a name card and I would write A, B, C, or D on it. D was a trash can. C was a Christmas card list. B was a couple times a year, and an A card was every quarter, every 3 months. As a core student, I would write a letter, type a letter out, seal it, put a stamp on it, and send it out every quarter. And these A's were sales or top executives, directors, vice presidents, and above, right? When I would send these letters out, if I sent 100 letters out, how many do you think I would return to me?
Maybe 20, 25?
Maybe one. Maybe one. Normally 200 was one. I mean, it was I hardly ever got them back. Ever got replies. Right? Because I'm a student, and I'm writing a VP of an engineering company in Hong Kong, right? What does that Hong Kong engineer have to say to me? Not a lot, right? But you know what I did when I didn't get a reply the next quarter? Wrote it again. You know what I did the next quarter? Wrote it again. And I kept writing these letters, writing these letters, writing these letters. And what happens pretty soon when you keep writing letters, I never really, the percentage of replies did not go up. But what happened is when I took trips to Hong Kong or trips to Japan or to Korea, I would call these people up and they'd go, oh, minami wasa? Oh, kure bango. You know, oh, are you here in town? Oh, let's get together. I hadn't seen them since I met them 3 years ago in a gas station, right? One time. But because I kept writing them letters, and I bet most of them they didn't read. But they know that I got a letter from them, at least. So, okay, so if there's a good networker in this class, for example, in this class, if there's a good networker, how many people do you have in your smartphone that you know that you could call and they know you? If you're a really good networker, how many people? Back in the glasses.
1,000?
1,000.
Yeah.
What do you think? If you had 1,000 people in your network that you knew, that you could call up and they knew who you are, is that a lot or kind of a lot?
Seems like a lot.
Seems like a lot?
Seems like a
How about 1,500 or 2,000? Say 2,000. How much? Is 2,000 just an astronomical a lot or just a lot?
I think it's a bit unrealistic.
Okay. I did something in my phone. I just turned it off, but in my phone, I copied. These are the contacts. And granted, not all 4,000 of them are my best friends, right? Not all 4,000 of them know me super well. But all 4,000 of me have met me. And I would say 90 to 95% remember me and know me. So if I called them up, it's not like a cold call. It's not like out of the blue, why are you calling me type of call. And I bet half of those people hear from me every year, whether it be a Christmas card, whether it be something. When I got married, I sent out 3,500 invitations. Because that was part of my networking. It's part of what I did to say, hey, you're part of my life. Because I wanted them to trust me, what David brought up. Trust. If someone trusts you, helping you is not an issue, right? Helping you. There's a Korean word in Korea called jung, right? What does jung mean? You tell me, I'll give you $10. No, I will give you $10 if you tell me what jung means.
It's like a feeling of friendliness or, a good feeling that people get from you.
Okay, that's part of it. That's almost $10 worth. But what's more? What is jung? Like jung 들었다. Like, you have jung with someone. The reason I offer $10 is because I don't think you can define it. It goes on, like jung and jung and jung and jung. Jung is trust, belief, love, an attraction, an emotional attachment. It's everything combined. Emotional attachment is my best word, but that in itself is not a good definition because it's so diverse. But anyway, so developing jung. Expect great things to happen. When you go into an interview and you think, yeah, I'm probably not going to get this. There's 14 people out there. 2 of them went to MIT. 3 of them went to Harvard. 4 of them went to, yada, 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 university or wherever. I'm not going to get this. Don't go interview. Why waste your time if that's what you're thinking? It's the same thing as a guy when you're asking a girl out, right? Do you ask them with confidence or no confidence? A little bit of confidence. Yeah, if a guy comes to you and says, hey, I would like to kind of go out with you. Even if you're kind of interested in him, you lose interest, right? Or what do you think? You're not interested. Yeah. But if you show some interest in them, so show some confidence, even if they might say no, they could say yes. Because of that confidence. And that confidence will carry. And one thing I'm going to throw in a little family thing here. The confidence that you have and that you and your spouse have will transfer to your children. If you don't have confidence, that transfers to your spouse, and that transfers to your children. And you want to raise confident kids. You know, it's the terrible father that as he smokes a cigarette says, don't smoke, you know, right? That's my little family thought for you. But expect great things to happen. Expect great things to happen. Expect great things to happen in your interview. In your interview, expect to be hired. Think that. And then that can transfer over. That subtle confidence. You know what? Because of time, well, real quick, because this is a great principle. Can you speak Arabic? You answer in a sentence.
I do not speak Arabic.
You do not speak Arabic. Can you fly helicopters?
I cannot fly a helicopter.
You cannot fly helicopters. Can you lift, or can you run a 4-minute mile?
I can't run 4 miles quite yet.
Can you have a baby? Okay, given science today, that might be a correct answer. But my point being, she was the only one that said the exact correct answer because of her last comment. Because if I ask you, can you speak Arabic, can you fly a helicopter, can you run a mile, it's not yet. But so often as people, as humans, we go, I can't do that. What? It's not that you can't. It's that you haven't learned yet. It's that you haven't practiced enough yet. And so what did I say at the beginning of class? Everything in this world starts with a... Together, everything in this world starts with a thought. And if you think you can't, you know, I guarantee you probably can. If you think you can or you think you cannot, you are right. If you think you can or you think you can't, you are right. Understand finance. Just quick. Those that understand interest, earn it. Those that don't understand interest, pay it. Very simple. Understand finances. People that run businesses love to have all of their employees, from the marketers to the finance to the operations, everybody. The better everybody understands finance as an employer, you love that. Because they know that you understand that your wasted time is money, that your wasted paper is money, that your wasted efficiencies are money. So help them understand that you understand finance. That is a great, wonderful point in an interview. Help them understand that you understand the value of money. Be a leader all the time. You're leading every day with every word, with every action. Be a leader. Because that will transfer back to great employment. I promise you that, because people will see you and go, wow, I met this guy. I don't know what he does, but he does it really well. I want to be around him. I'll end with this. There are two kinds of pain in this world that you have to endure. People say there's two things you have to die and you have to pay taxes. Well, there's one more. There is a pain that all of you will have to endure. One of two pains, and you get to choose. The pain of discipline or the pain of regret. If you go through that pain of discipline, which it is a pain, right? The discipline can be very painful. But you know what? It's a lot better than the other pain. Coming out of an interview because you weren't prepared. Coming out of an interview because, I didn't look up that. Coming out of an interview because I didn't show the confidence that I could have shown. Don't have that regret. If just a few of these principles have led my life to where it is now. And I love my life. I wake up every morning loving my life. I love my family. I have 4.5 kids. We're about to have another son. We have 3 daughters and a boy, and we're about to have another boy in another month. And I love waking up to my wife and to my family every day because of a few of these principles that I follow. And I know networking is a huge thing. If you haven't started networking, and all these people, keep in contact with them, keep in contact with them, because they'll get you to the interview. 2 people this week, I just made one phone call, one to KT, one to SK, and got him with the head HR guy. I just made a call and he says, oh sure, because he trusts me. He's one of the guys I met up when I was a tour guide in Hawaii. And they trust me, so I called them up and said, hey, you need to talk to these people. Great, send them over. Send them over. Without a resume. So they didn't look at the resume first, they just believed me. With that network, you will go a long ways with people that will do something for you. Thank you.
have any questions? Yeah,
Yes.
a minute or two.
I knew I was over my time limit here that I was given, and so I wanted to but I'd love to take questions.
I have one question for the ABC networking. You said for people categorized as A, you would write them every quarter. What exactly was the content of that kind of?
You know what?
open
If you
writing?
think about it as a student, right? I was an undergraduate student, and so I would make it as business-like or as interesting as I could. You know, maybe tell them something that was happening in Honolulu in the tourist industry. Or maybe if I knew that they were in some industry, look up something in the paper, that was talking about the tire industry. So when I was writing the, executive at Kumo Tire, I would tell them something that's happening here. So they found something interesting in my letter. Because my life alone was not that interesting, right? And even if it was interesting to me, it wasn't interesting to them. And so I would find something of value so when they read the letter, they got, oh, that's good to know. Good, great question.
Thank you.
What else? Yes.
Do you think any meaningful difference between the developing network for your business career and the developing your personal very deep and personal deep meaningful relationship with people?
Do I think, I don't understand your question. Are you saying is there a crossover?
Well, it could be crossover, but I think, I cannot say it is really separated, but I'm very confusing because you have almost 4,000 people in your cell phone, one of them in your cell phone, that you always said they are not that good friend, all of them are not
Sure.
a good friend. But still making such kind of, developing such kind of network could be some, or can I say, some connecting point
Right.
to your personal relationship.
Well, see, when I develop a network or develop a relationship with someone, I don't write them in there thinking, okay, I'm going to benefit something from X person. I don't think, I'm going to benefit from her, I'm going to benefit from him. That's not what I think. I truly don't think that. Because as soon as I think that, the conversation or the communication to that person, it bleeds. It tells them that.
You mean the attitude is the most important point when you develop?
It's the way you think. If you think that, it's going to come out in your words and actions. And so when I put them in that phone, I might put them in for a business purpose. Obviously, because I just met with a printer, right? And I use printers for different things. Well, I didn't put this guy in because I really thought he was a nice guy, right? I put him in because in the printing world now, if I take my thing and put print, then he'll come up, right? But all the people that I meet business-wise, if I can't develop a relationship with them, then I don't want to do business with them. For a contract, for example, for me personally in my consulting business, if I have to have a contract to protect us because of with lawyers, I really don't want to do business with you. And so, to me, it's a crossover. If I can't have a good relationship with someone that I'm going to do business with or refer or something, I really don't care to be really tight with them. And there's probably 5 or 10% of those, maybe probably not 5 or 10, probably 5%, that I don't really like, but I just keep them in there. I don't X them out because they're bad or whatever, but, and I don't contact them. They're not contacts. But I like them in because if they call me, I want to know who's calling me. Another question.
As a person who interviewed several hundred people, so what is the first thing you usually look at?
The way they walk in. The way they walk into the room. The way they present themselves to me. If it's like, if they're looking at the floor, if they don't do eye contact, when they shake your hand and somebody does this, and they don't look at you. Just the basics, right? Just the very, very basic things. They say 55% of your communication is through your language, right? Or your body language. And then the 30-something% is through the tone, and about 8 or 10 or 12%, I don't know the exact percentage, but it's very low, are your words. So that's the very first thing I look at, is how do they carry themselves? Are they confident? Do they know who they are? Do they look at me? Are they, honest? You can tell a lot from their actions. What else? Any other questions? Okay, thank you very much.
All right. Yeah, you can stay. You've earned that. That's great. I appreciate Mr. Rogers' perspective. A lot of good thoughts, right? A lot of good ideas moving forward. We talked about preparing for an interview.